In Florida today, the father of Ibragim Todashev arrived from Russia to try to start figuring out why his son is dead. In May, his son was being interviewed by FBI agents, apparently in the presence of other law enforcement officers as well. They were reportedly interviewing him about his past friendship with one of the two Boston bombing suspects, and possibly also about an unsolved triple murder in Waltham, Massachusetts, in 2011. During that interview with FBI agents, Ibragim Todashev was shot dead inside the condo that he lived in Orlando. Contradictory law enforcement leaks said initially that Mr. Todashev was armed with some kind of knife, and then that he wasn't. And then they said he was armed with maybe some kind of pole, or maybe it was a broomstick, or maybe he wasn't armed with that either, or maybe he lunged or tried to throw over a piece of furniture. Well, in any case, he's dead. And we have no detailed official explanation as to what happened. The most information we've got is unofficial and cannot be confirmed by any official sources. In Russia, his family publicly released what they say are photos taken of Mr. Todashev's body in a morgue in Florida, showing what appear to be 7 bullet holes, 6 to his torso and 1 to the back of his head. There is no local investigation of this shooting in Florida. Although Massachusetts state police officers were reportedly present for the shooting in Florida, there's also no Massachusetts investigation of the shooting either. The only investigation of this shooting, the only review being done at all of FBI agents having killed this guy while interviewing him, the only review of any kind is being done by the FBI itself. The shooting review process at the FBI, well, the last 150 FBI shootings that it reviewed were all determined to be justified shootings. All 150 of the last 150 they looked at. Case closed. That's it. The list of those calling for someone other than the FBI to have a look at this, or at least for the FBI to explain something, anything, publicly about what happened here, it started with advocacy groups like the Council on American Islamic Relations in Florida and the ACLU in Florida and the ACLU in Massachusetts. It then moved on to the editorial pages of the Patriot Ledger newspaper in Massachusetts and to the Boston Globe and to the Boston Herald. And frankly, the Boston Globe and the Boston Herald never agree on anything, especially on the editorial page. But they agree that the FBI has to say something about this. We have covered this story a lot, honestly, because it is inconceivable to me that the FBI is just treating this like it's over and there's no need for any official public notice at all. They're just going to keep leaking out implausible but always self-exculpatory things about this case to the press and expect us all to be satisfied with that. We have covered this story a lot because of that. Each time we've covered it, we have asked the FBI to comment officially or to come on the show and at least talk about why they can't comment officially. Every time they say no. Nicely, but they say no. They said no nicely again today. But they also now have to answer to this young man's father, who has arrived today from Russia. And they have to answer to everybody else who wants some kind of public information about this bizarre and key fatal development in both the Boston bombing investigation and that Massachusetts murder, which they have anonymously leaked should be pinned on that man they killed. Case closed.